Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Mr. Mnyenembe once again. So today we want to do another procedure. So this procedure that we're about to do is known as administration of oxygen. Yes. So administration of oxygen is simply a procedure that is done to administer oxygen to the patient or the client. Yes. But before I introduce what we are supposed to use, let's talk about the indications. So what are the indications of this procedure? So number one, when you check the saturations and then you find that they are below 90, that means you have to give oxygen to the patient or the client. The other things that would prompt you to give oxygen are simply conditions. So conditions like asthma, pneumonia, bronchitis, cardiac failure, poisoning, and even COVID-19, yes, you can give oxygen. So now, we have the trolley this side, we have the cylinder, and the patient this side. So let me just introduce the parts of the cylinder. So the cylinder, this whole thing is known as a cylinder, but it's got parts, yes. So this part is known as the cylinder valve, this blue thing. And then we have this other part which is known as the pressure gauge. And then we have another thing which looks similar like the pressure gauge, which is known as the flow gauge. Yes. So we also have this part which is a humidifier. Yes. And then we have this black thing which is known as the flow adjustment knob, this black thing. So we have the humidifier, and this is where you have to put distilled water. Yes. So let me also introduce what we have on the trolley. So on the trolley, on the bottom shelf, we have hand sanitizer. We also have a receiver with gloves. We also have sodium bicarbonate and a receiver where to discard the used swabs. So we also have a receiver on the top shelf. So we have the galley pod with cotton, another galley pod, a receiver with the nasal drums. Yes. And then we have the client that side. So first thing first, remember, before we start the procedure, remember this procedure is not a sterile procedure but a clean procedure. So oxygen administration is a clean procedure. Yes, so wash hands and dry them. First thing first, for all the procedures, wash hands and dry them. Then you use your towel to do that. Yes, then you go to the client or the patient to get permission. So you're going to introduce yourself, but before you introduce yourself, you greet the patient. So you say good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. So you say good morning, Mrs. Mumba. I'm student number 10 from Kushi College. I have been assigned to give you oxygen. Permission to go ahead, please. She has said okay. But before I begin the procedure, is there anything that I can do for you within here? She has said no. How about while you are sleeping, how is it? So you have to assess. Okay. Then the other thing you have to do is to ensure privacy. So you say, don't worry about privacy, I have already screened. Okay. So she has allowed me to do this procedure. So the next thing I will do, I will prepare the trolley, and then I need to don gloves. So you don clean gloves. Okay, so after donning gloves, the next move will be to pour sodium bicarbonate on the galley pot. So you say, my examiner, this is sodium bicarbonate, the expiry date is in 2028. So this is just a clean procedure, so you can close here. So just pour there. After you do that, the next move will be to clean the nostrils. So if you have the orange sticks, you can use them to do that. If you only have swabs, just use the swabs. So you get a piece of swab of a swab, then you start with the furthest. So you clean the nostril. Then this will go in the receiver there. And then you also clean the nearest nostril, like that. Then the next move will be to get the nasal plumb, and you connect it with the humidifier on the connector, just there, like that. Then you have to, the next thing you do is you have to test for if there is air coming out. So you can just do like that. You just do this. Remember, before you do that, you have to make sure that this side is open. So you open here, and you also open there, like that. Then you test for pressure, or you test for air. Is it coming out? Yes. So you can do this from here, or you can just get I don't know if it's normal saline. Then you put this part inside the guard pot. So if there will be bubbles coming out, that means there is air coming. Yes. So if the doctor ordered to say you give 4 liters or 5 liters, you have to regulate from here. Then you check from the flow gauge there. So let's now connect it to the patient. So this thing, how it's made, way back people used to do this. They used to do this. Then it will go, sorry, it used to be like this. Like that. Then you do this behind. Okay. So this is how people used to place this thing. But this time around, things have changed, and the recommended way is this. So you just hold these, place them in the nose, then these, they will go behind the earlobe, this side and this side. Yes. And then you have to do this. You just secure it nicely in the neck, like that. Okay. So like this, that means we have connected and we have administered the oxygen to the patient or the client. Yes. So the next thing you do is to give IEC. So you finish all the procedures by giving IEC. So you say, thank you for allowing me to do this procedure. Make sure you don't disconnect the nasal plumbs, because once you disconnect, that means you're going to have difficulties in breathing. Yes. So if you find that you are finding difficulty to breathe, you can simply call upon me and I'll be able to assist you. Yes. Then the next thing you do is to remove gloves, and you end the procedure by washing your hands. So guys, thank you.